Imagine waking up every day, removing your hair system, having a nice hot shower, drying yourself off, putting the hair system back on and getting on with your day. Not having to check for lifts in the morning, not having to get your glue out. Well, that's the reality for people who wear hair systems on a daily wear basis. Now, what does daily hair system wear mean? Now, some of you might be thinking, well, I wear my hair system every day, or everyone I know wears their hair system every day. Yes, that much is true, but there are some people who actually decide to remove their hair system at night every day and then put it back on in the morning. And it's becoming a much more popular method of hair system wear. We're going in depth into it today. We're going to be looking at solutions because this is something which is growing in the hair system community. More people are interested in this. So we're going to be looking at the right kind of adhesives you can use. We're going to be looking at hygiene tips, bases which are appropriate for daily hair system wear. Of course, looking at how you can make it the most secure fit possible and navigating day-to-day challenges like sweat and activity, weatherproofing, and what to do with it at night. Now, firstly, we're going to look at why people decide to do this. And there is a very valid reason behind this, and it's twofold. Firstly, what you'll find is if you choose the daily wear route, you're more likely to get longer out of your hair system. Now, why is that? It's because it's not on your head at night when you're asleep and you're tossing and turning in bed. The hair on that system is going to be in much better shape if it's sitting on a mannequin head in your bedroom compared to if it's on your actual head and rubbing against a pillow. So in that respect, it makes a lot of sense. The other reason, quite often people find if they're wearing a bond with their system for like 10 to 14 days, that tape, that glue can really start to break down a little bit. It can get a little bit gloopy or messy, especially in summer. You don't get that problem if you're taking it off at night every day. Now, of course, like anything, there are drawbacks to this, and it does take time removing it at night and then putting it back on in the morning. You want to make sure it's got a solid fit. You might be a little bit averse as well to leaving it on upside down on a mannequin head, and you've sort of got like new tape and you have to tape it again every morning. Or if you're using tape for consecutive days, you might find dust and dirt builds up on that. Obviously, that's not ideal for everyone. It's not ideal for me per se, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you. So if this is a route you are considering, let's look at the daily wear essentials. So a majority of people who have chosen the daily wear route tend to use tapes. They tend to use, in particular, 1522, which is a Walker tape. It's great for basically daily usage. It can last a couple of days as well. I know people who have got like 5 days out of this tape before. So that's probably one you're going to want to be looking for. It's hypoallergenic as well, so it's good for sensitive skin. You can also get them in handy strips as well, much like the Ultra Hold tabs. And my collab partners at Scruffy Hair Co in the UK, they do stock this product, and it's really, really popular for daily wear users. It's very, very easy to use. The strips are pre-cut and you just sort of peel back the non-sticky side. It's really, really easy. Now, I tend not to recommend liquid adhesives when it comes to daily wear because those are designed more for longer term wear. And if you're removing that every single day, it's not really designed for that, and it will probably cause you scalp irritation. It probably will also cause glue over time to build up on the base. It's not really something you want. It can be quite tricky to remove in comparison to tape. So I only really recommend tape, particularly 1522, either the roll or the strips when it comes to daily use. Now we're going to talk bases, and I'm mentioning this because there are certain bases which are more acclimatized to daily wear, if that's what you're choosing to do. And I'd always recommend either a Swiss lace or a French lace. Why? Because it gives you that realism, but it also gives you that breathability, and they don't tend to bond as strongly to your scalp as a poly. It's really quite hard as well. With the thinner polys, it's harder to get tape off the poly. It's really quite easy to get it off the lace when you're doing a clean and rebond. And remember guys, if you're doing daily use, you're doing a rebond every day. So you don't want to be having to pull really hard on the system to get it off. It will really irritate your scalp, and no one wants that. So for instance, what I'd recommend is the Helios, which is the Swiss lace, or the Thor, which is the French lace from LaVivid. They're really great all-rounders. You can get a 15% discount on it. Make sure you use the link in the description box below. It helps support the channel. But when it comes to the systems themselves and the actual supplies that you're using, I'd highly recommend the Helios or the Thor, which is Swiss lace or French lace. Both are equally as good, and 1522 tape or strips. And now let's talk about lifestyle, because I know a lot of you are going to be asking right now, well, we've got an active lifestyle. Can we do daily wear? We can see this really working for us, but we're unsure whether it'd fit within what is a busy lifestyle or a sweaty lifestyle. And I can very much assure you that the answer is yes. Now, if you work out a lot, if you sweat a lot, bonds can break down faster. So rather than getting 2 weeks out of a bond, you might get 7 days, for instance, out of a bond before it starts lifting. Now, the great thing is, if you're removing the system every day and sleeping bald and putting it on a mannequin head in your bedroom, you're not really giving the sweat time to break down that bond, because you're putting on a new bit of tape every day. So you can still work out, that's absolutely fine. If you're really struggling actually wearing a hair system and sweating, if you're finding it really uncomfortable, you may even want to remove the system when you're in the gym and just wear a hat or a do-rag, or heck, if it's winter, maybe a beanie. But yes, you can absolutely work out. Yes, you can absolutely have an active lifestyle. One thing that I wouldn't recommend is, for my UK and European viewers, don't play rugby wearing any hair system. I got a client of mine on a call the other day, and he's like, can I play rugby wearing a system? And I was like, that's the one thing I probably wouldn't recommend you wearing a system during, because it's literally, you are in a scrum, you are in a ruck, people are pulling at your shirt, they're pulling your hair. Your system's going to come off. When I was playing rugby when I was younger at school, I wore contact lenses, and the number of times my contact lenses went flying out of my eye, even though they were literally glued to my eye, because someone tackled me really hard or I got knocked over. So I wouldn't recommend it. Also, with the daily wear, if you're using your 1522, I wouldn't recommend going on roller coasters. They're not the strongest bond. I probably wouldn't recommend going for a swim underwater either. But one thing you might want to consider, and this is actually applicable across the board, and it's a product I'm going to be using quite soon myself, is using a scalp antiperspirant. So one that I'm going to be using soon is popping up on the screen right now. I'm really excited about it because I sweat a lot, especially in summer. So I'm really intrigued to test out this Pro Hair Labs product. Remember, Pro Hair Labs produce Ghost Bond. They're a very good brand. They're very reputable. And they promote this as effectively being tough and effective at basically controlling oils coming out of your scalp. So let's see how I get on with that one. Now, in terms of weatherproofing, I would say, especially in summer with daily wear or longer term wear, it's always important to use a good quality leave-in conditioner. If you live in a hot country, or if it's in somewhere where you are, I recommend a UV protective one. So I'm using a UV protective one right now. I've been using it about 2 weeks, and it's amazing. I'm really happy with it. I've been out in the sun like every day, and it hasn't bleached yet. And lastly, before I go, and there's a really big myth around this which is not true, and that is, if you wear a system on a daily basis and you remove it at night, that you have to wash it every day and you've got to shampoo it every day. Please don't do that. It will shorten the lifespan of the hair system. You don't need to shampoo it. Just get yourself a mannequin head. Make sure it's in a cool, dark place within your room. Don't put it in direct sunlight because that will bleach the hair. Make sure you put it upside down on the mannequin head so it's basically facing, the base is facing up. If you want to leave tape on for a couple of days, that's absolutely fine. But make sure you've just got somewhere in your room where you've got your 1522, you've got your hair system mannequin. It's easily accessible for you once you get out of the bathroom after your hot shower, and I think you'll find life very easy. So is daily hair system wear possible, where you put it on in the morning, you take it off at night, you do that every day? Absolutely yes. What will it do for you? It will prolong the life of your hair system. It will mean you don't get a build-up of tapes and glues that can start breaking down after a couple of weeks. What are the drawbacks? Well, you get a less secure bond. You also get through a lot more tape. And yes, overall, like, maintenance time will be longer than your average wearer. But if you do choose this route, please do consider getting yourself some 1522. If you're out sweating a lot, maybe consider getting yourself that no sweat scalp antiperspirant. Both of those are available in the special link below from Scruffy Hair Co. And let me know, are you a daily hair system wearer? What are your tips? What do you find helps you manage your daily hair system wear in the most optimal way possible? Is this something you're considering as well? I'm literally getting so many questions about this, guys. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments box below, and I'll speak to you very soon.